Welcome back to Reviews Inside TV, where we put the latest tech, tools, and gear through real-world testing so you know exactly what's worth your hard-earned money. Today, we're diving into a processor that's been generating serious buzz in the enthusiast PC space, the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D. This chip belongs to AMD's higher-tier Ryzen 7 family and features 8 cores and 16 threads. It's built on the 5nm process and is designed to deliver high efficiency, enhanced performance, and integrated graphics capability through its onboard Radeon GPU. No flash, no fluff. Let's get into the details. The Ryzen 7 7800X3D features a base clock of 4.2 GHz and leverages AMD's 3D V-cache technology to pack in 96 MB of L3 cache, alongside 8 MB of L2. It supports simultaneous multi-threading, meaning you're looking at 16 threads in total, which is great for gaming, streaming, and productivity workflows. The maximum graphics frequency of its integrated Radeon unit hits 2200 MHz, and the thermal ceiling is rated at 89 degrees Celsius. Pretty standard for high-performance CPUs today. I installed this chip into a B650 motherboard paired with DDR5 6000 RAM and ran it through my standard workload: gaming at 1440p, video rendering with DaVinci Resolve, and a few multitasking stress tests using VM instances and browser tab overloads. Out of the box, the setup was straightforward. The chip didn't come with a cooler, so I used a 280mm AIO for thermal control. It booted without issue, and temps under load stayed in the mid-70s Celsius with peaks near 80, safe for daily use, even under sustained pressure. Gaming performance was where this processor really flexed its muscle. With the 96 MB of L3 cache, CPU-bound titles like CSGO and StarCraft 2 showed noticeably higher minimum frame rates. In more modern GPU-heavy games like Cyberpunk 2077, performance was still rock solid, though the GPU became the bottleneck in that scenario. The integrated Radeon graphics can handle basic desktop tasks and some very light gaming and healing, but don't expect miracles. It's not a replacement for a dedicated GPU. As for content creation, the chip chewed through 4K footage with minimal frame drop or lag, and multi-threaded rendering was brisk and efficient. Before we go deeper, if you're liking this review, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next breakdown from Reviews Inside TV. We test it all so you don't have to guess. Now, let's talk about what works and what doesn't. On the plus side, the Ryzen 7 7800X3D offers incredibly high cache capacity, which translates into smoother gaming and better performance in certain latency-sensitive tasks. Power efficiency is another strong point. It punches hard without drawing a ton of power, and the chip's multitasking capability is strong thanks to its octa-core layout and 16 threads. But it's not perfect. First, there's no cooler in the box, which feels like a miss at this price point. Also, the base clock of 4.2 GHz is solid, but some users looking for aggressive single-core performance might wish it pushed higher. Overclocking is also more limited compared to some other Ryzen CPUs, largely due to the thermal density introduced by the stacked cache. Value-wise, this CPU sits in an interesting place. It's not the cheapest 8-core option on the market, but when you factor in the gaming gains from the 3D V-cache and its efficient performance per watt, it makes a compelling case, especially for gamers who prioritize smooth frame pacing and competitive responsiveness. However, for users who don't game or won't benefit from the cache, a cheaper standard Ryzen 7 or even a higher-clocked non-3D variant might make more sense. Compared to similar CPUs, like the non-X3D Ryzen 7 7700X or Intel's Core i7-13700K, the 7800X3D stands out in gaming workloads due to that massive L3 cache. But it generally lags behind in productivity tasks where raw clock speed and core count carry more weight. So it all comes down to what you plan to do most. In terms of build quality, the chip is manufactured using TSMC's 5nm node, which is currently one of the most efficient and compact production technologies. Socket compatibility is AM5, which should give users some longevity as AMD plans to support the platform for multiple generations. As far as long-term reliability goes, AMD's Ryzen processors have historically held up well under sustained loads, and I haven't experienced any instability or crashes with this unit across 3 weeks of heavy use. While I haven't had to reach out to AMD's support for this review, the brand carries a generally solid reputation for technical support and driver updates. Community support is also strong, with ample BIOS update coverage from motherboard vendors to ensure optimal compatibility and performance out of the gate. For users considering cheaper options, the Ryzen 5 7600X offers strong single-core performance at a lower price, though it lacks the massive L3 cache. On the Intel side, the i5 13400F provides good value in mixed workloads, though it's not as cache-heavy or tuned for gaming like the 7800X3D. To wrap it up, the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X3D is a specialized tool that shines brightest in scenarios where cache matters, namely gaming. It's efficient, well-built, and performs admirably in multitasking and media workflows. However, it's not the jack-of-all-trades some users may need. It doesn't come with a cooler, overclocking headroom is limited, and its real performance edge is laser-focused on gaming rather than productivity. If you're building a gaming-focused rig and want silky smooth frame rates with minimal latency, this CPU delivers. But if you're leaning more toward creative workloads or need every ounce of multi-core performance, there may be better suited alternatives. Thanks for watching Reviews TV! The link to pick up the Ryzen 7 7800X3D is down in the comments box. Got questions about this chip or already running it in your system? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your experience. Until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and remember, on Reviews Inside TV, the specs don't lie. We just make them speak.